Alright, so patch 7.35 finally has a release date, and it should come as no surprise to anybody else who expected the Monster Hunter collab to be at the same time. This is Tuesday, October the 7th, so put it in your calendars. That is when we'll get to do all of the content in 7.35, and 7.35 is actually quite a big and pivotal point in the game, including that of obviously Pilgrim's Traverse, which is the new deep dungeon with its scaling tech. We've got the Yok-Hoi Allied Society quest, we've got Hildebrand, and now we also have the brand new Monster Hunter Wilds collaboration, the Windward Wilds and the Windward Wilds Extreme, which is the harder version of that in our game. Now, for this then, on the 7th of October, you will need to have completed the Dawntrail expansion, which obviously means getting to level 100, and there will be a 740 requirement to get into the Extreme version. In terms of the gear then, this is what a good look at that is. I mean, we've already seen this particular slide, so let's move straight along. We also have a look at mounts as well. So notice how it says mounts. That's because you're not just getting the secret, you're also getting the cart from Monster Hunter Wilds. So if you don't know what this is, essentially when you fail a monster, you will be carted back to base by some palicos. And as you can see, that is what's happening here. Additionally to that, there's obviously the secret minion, which is a baby little secret, Fluffy Boy, and a Vigor Wasp. And then we've also got some housing furnishings. So we've got a new Phasmoscape that seems to show Arkveld, which is really quite interesting in the background with Alpha and Omega in the foreground. We've got a greatsword being propped up, as well as a wall furnishing, which is pretty awesome. We also have some other furnishings that are listed here. These are listed as indoor furnishings. I don't know if these palicos are actually retainers or like NPCs you can put down, but it's kind of cool that they're even there. I guess that's what they are, like housing NPCs maybe, for your estate, maybe. And then we've also got the roasting spit that some of you might be familiar with the ribs there, the rack of ribs. Additionally, we've also got the outdoors furnishings, which we looked at before. So obviously we've got the feline striking dummy, we've got the spit outside version, and we've got the tent as well. And the other camp equipment in the red box, which is very iconic to Monster Hunter. Looks absolutely awesome. In addition though, something we didn't know about is that there's going to be unique framers kits from Monster Hunter Wilds for our character. A new fashion accessory, which is very cool. I really like that. It reminds me of Mitsuzune. And then there's also lots of orchestra and rolls as well, which is what you want to hear, because the Monster Hunter music, and Wilds in particular, is absolutely exceptional in terms of score. If nothing else, right? It's amazing. So like we said, you're going to need 725 item level for the normal version, and you need 740 item level for the extreme. As far as we know, there shouldn't be any extra rewards from the extreme, unless I misheard that in terms of translation, but we'll need some more concrete information on how that works in the future. Of course, this is the intro cutscene. I don't want to show you too much of the fight because I think that's probably quite spoilerific, but they spend a good 20 minutes fighting against Arkveld. It looks pretty great. I'm sure there are plenty of other surprises we're not showing here, and yes, it's going to be intense. A brief look at the weapons then. For what I thought was only going to be a couple, it turns out there's actually quite a few. They do a little bit of a preview here. Of course, we've got a White Mage Cane. We've got, we've got Sword and Shield. We've got ourselves even new lifts as part of a Sage in the background there. And we've also got Viper weapons. So it's not just the three that were shown on the website. And if we hop over to the special site once again, you'll see that it's been updated, this time to include pictures of the cart and the secret, in addition to the other furnishing items as well, which is pretty cool, and a full list. So the actual armor is called the Hope Visor. There is an M and an F version of this. It does appear to be like unclickable, but we saw in the actual footage from Tokyo Game Show that Yoshi P was wearing both sets on his character, so there doesn't appear to be any gender locks this time, thankfully, if that was a consideration. They are all double dyeable pieces, so we'll be able to double dye those. And then additionally, we have weapons for every single role in the game. Obviously, these are all the Veldian stuff, so to talk about, you know, Arc-Veld as the actual inspiration. So if you're worried about your particular job being missed out, you've got nothing to worry about. Everything is covered. And yeah, some of them look really cool from the actual pictures, so I wonder if the machinist one is as cool as that. But it does also appear to be augmented versions of these, so presumably the augmented versions are shiny or something that come from the extreme mode. I don't know. I don't know the difference between those. It doesn't explain. And then obviously it's the feline support team cart horn and the secret horn. And there's a few, actually. This is interesting. I thought there was going to be only one of the Guardian Arc-Veld Phasmoscape housing item, but we've also got Ifduna, Jindahad, Raydal, Omega. That's interesting, on Ishard Cliffs, and New Udro. That's actually really cool. There's also... Yeah, oh yeah, they are Mender permits. Oh my goodness. So we're going to be able to have Palico NPCs in our house. That's actually fantastic, isn't it? That is so cool. And it is Mitsuzune. So I was right when I was like, that kind of looks like Mitsuzune. So we got the 2 Framers kits and then a bunch of Orchestrion rolls. Yeah, super happy about this personally. I'm more happy that the fact that every single job got a weapon and nobody got left behind. I don't know. Does that make up for the lack of Arc-Veld armor? I don't know. Either way, we've got the secret mount, which scales depending on the size of your character. So a Lalafell here against Rogadin is laughable. Obviously, this flies through the air, which is more than you can do in Wilds, where it only glides. It does seem to stick to the glide animation a lot more than it probably would if it was any other mount. But I suppose that's to try and make it believable. And then obviously here's that cart mechanic, which has 2 Parameowdics Palicos pushing you around with little red things on them. And Yoshi P said, if you ever see this scene of so many of these, then it is quest failure. Game over. He's not wrong. It flies through the air quite comically. Yeah, what's not to love about this? Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. In addition to that, then they slip in right at the end for the launch of the Ivalice Chronicles, the remaster and remake of Final Fantasy Tactics, which releases on the 30th of September. So, you know, literally like tomorrow. Well, Tuesday, sorry. You'll be able to get yourself on the cash shop, on the online store, some Orchestrion rolls as well as some sets. Individually, we've got Ramza, we've got Ovalia, and we've got Gafgarian sets. So if you're excited to pick those up off of the cash shop for real money, you totally can do on Tuesday, September the 30th. And additionally, I'll just leave you with the trailer because, yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Can't wait to get stuck in. Much love. Let me know what you think about this. Are you disappointed about the armor situation? Or are you just happy that we've got all of these cool rewards? Much love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.